The cartel's response was immediate and absolute. Within 72 hours, they'd activated every asset they owned. Corrupt border agents, bribed port authorities, sleeper cells in 12 countries. They threw money at the problem like gasoline on a fire. They were certain of one thing. Ricardo couldn't move 9 tons of cash without leaving a trail. So they watched the seas, monitored the airstrips, intercepted shipping manifests. They were hunting for a man trying to escape with the largest physical cash haul in cartel history. But Ricardo wasn't running. He was watching them panic. Satellite surveillance picked up the fish truck 2 days after the heist. It was parked outside a seafood processing plant in Belize City. When authorities raided the facility, they found the truck abandoned in a loading bay. The refrigerated compartment was empty. Just melted ice, waterproof containers scattered on the floor, and the smell of rotting tilapia. The cartel assumed he'd transferred the cash to a boat. They intercepted 3 fishing vessels in international waters, tore apart the cargo holds, found nothing but actual fish. Then, on day 4, an anonymous tip came through. A storage unit in Panama City, number 447. When they kicked down the door, they found exactly what they'd been searching for. $200 million. Every single bill, neatly stacked in the original waterproof containers. Untouched. Uncounted. Just sitting there in the dark like it had been waiting for them. The cartel's recovery team moved fast. No questions. No celebration. Just silent, professional retrieval. By noon, the money was loaded into armored trucks and heading back into the jungle. The authorities closed the case. The cartel breathed a sigh of relief, and that's when Ricardo's real plan began. See, here's what nobody noticed. Hidden inside each waterproof container, disguised as standard RFID tracking chips, the kind the cartel used themselves to monitor cash shipments, were 14 military-grade listening devices. Custom-built, encrypted, nearly impossible to detect unless you knew exactly what you were looking for. And the cartel wasn't looking. They were too busy redistributing the money. Debts needed to be paid. Territories needed to be secured. The cash had to move, and it had to move now. So they did exactly what Ricardo knew they would. They spread it across their entire network: Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Colombia. Each container went to a different location. Each location was a hub of cartel activity, and each hub was now broadcasting everything directly to Ricardo. For 3 months, he listened. Phone calls between cartel bosses and government officials. Coordinates for cocaine labs hidden in the Petén jungle. Bank account numbers in the Cayman Islands and Switzerland. Names of federal judges on the payroll. The exact location of tunnels running beneath the US-Mexico border. Every secret, every name, every number. He compiled it into a single file. 4,000 pages of evidence that could burn the Gulf cartel to the ground. And then he made copies. He sent the dossier to the DEA, to the FBI, to Interpol. And then, just to make absolutely sure the job got done, he sent it to the Sinaloa cartel, the Jalisco New Generation cartel, and Los Zetas. 3 rival organizations that hated the Gulf cartel almost as much as they hated law enforcement. What happened next was surgical. Within 2 weeks, 47 high-ranking Gulf cartel members were arrested across 6 countries. Politicians who'd been untouchable for decades were suddenly in handcuffs on the evening news. Corrupt cops started cooperating with investigators to save their own skins. And the rival cartels? They smelled blood. They hit Gulf cartel supply lines, hijacked shipments, assassinated mid-level operators. The Gulf cartel tried to fight back, but they were fighting blind. Half their command structure was in prison. The other half didn't know who to trust anymore. The organization that had terrorized Central America for 30 years began to collapse. Not from a military operation, not from a government crackdown, from a single man with a laptop and a plan. But here's the part that kept investigators awake at night. 2 months after the dossier went public, a cartel safe house in Monterrey was conducting a routine security check. One of their tech guys opened an encrypted laptop to review surveillance footage, and then he saw it. A notification. Small. Easy to miss. Files accessed, external copy created. Someone had just hacked into their system. Again, Ricardo Molina had vanished with nothing. No money, no fame, no trace. But somewhere out there he was still hunting. And the question everyone was asking, from the FBI to the surviving cartel bosses, was the same. Where the hell is he now?